introduction. Yesterday was Kent State Day. Where were you exactly 39 years ago?
I'm sorry to disappoint you. I wasn't at Kent State at that time in 1970. I was in Canada doing a one-year curriculum and special arts certificate in sculpture in London, Ontario.
How did you react to the news about the incident, and how did you find out?
I found out about it like probably the next day, it was very shocking to me. It reminded me of things, and it affected me in my own conscience. It affected me that this is something, a phenomenon in my generation that affected us. It's a negative, and it's a bad reflection also. I remembered just in the August prior, there was the Charles Manson gang massacre, and real soon after the Charles Manson massacre, there was the parade or a march in San Francisco, which was known as the funeral march of hippies, or the death of the hippies. The hippie movement was over by September of 1969, and I can understand why. It made sense to me. But it was also, I had a form of conscience about it. And then the events of Kent State was definitely, those directions were over. Social consciousness was more important.
Why were you so serious and personally faulted by these events?
I think it's because who I was in London, Ontario, growing up as a young lad. It was natural for me, for my kind of personality, and being a young artist. I was interested in the Beatles movement. There's many people in my own age group who are not into that kind of counterculture as it developed over the couple of short years that followed the explosion of the music culture and how it affected dress, Carnaby Street. All those things were so important at that time for a young teenager, as it is today with counterculture, how kids react to the latest fashions and trends. And so at that time I was affected, and it affected me strongly. You want to do all the good you can in the world.
So you felt you were a part of a movement, so to speak?
I would say so. Like, I was very conscious at that age. At the age of, like, let's say 17. That would be in 1968. I was born in 1950. I was born in late November 11th, Armistice Day, November 11th, 1950. And so I was very aware of myself. The statistic was that when I was 17, the largest age group in the world was 17. It was now a voice, something that, well, unfortunately, marketers took over. They started marketing us.
So you're a baby boomer?
Well, I don't like the term, because if you've ever read the Baby Boomer Bible, and it's kind of awful. It's kind of embarrassing. I'm not proud of how things developed. I like how Bill Gates and the people at Apple, how they began in 1970, 1969, but I'm not exactly proud of the term baby boomer, because a lot of that connotes a lot of greed from my generation, the ones that succeeded. I'd like to disconnect myself from that. I've always kept up the trends and understood movements and art and things all through my life. But yeah, I'm a baby boomer. Well, don't throw stones at me now.
So tell me about what happened when you were at Kent State.
Well, I arrived at Kent State August of 1976. So, and it took me time to get there. I was about 25 years old when I finally got to Kent State. In my junior year, I transferred credits from a community college in Florida, and when I was there at Kent State, soon after I was there in 1977, new occurrences happened that added another chapter to the story of Kent State. And what that was, I could explain. There was the administration wanted to build a new gym. They wanted to put this new gymnasium, on the grounds of Blanket Hill, where the massacres took place. And as far as we felt, and everyone felt,